is not an option, Ruto tells CSS. And Israel forces killed 72 Palestinians in Gaza, including 29 seeking aid. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the program. My name is Samira Galoro. High Court Judge Bahati Mwamuye has referred a case filed by Busia Senator Okiya Omtata to Chief Justice Martha Koome for the empanelment of a bench of not less than 3 judges. The ruling addresses the petitioner's application dated April 24th, seeking certification under Article 165, Section 4 of the Constitution that petition number 216 of 2025 raises substantial questions of law. Certification was unanimously supported by all parties. Justice Mwamuye noted that there is another pending matter, High Court petition number E248 of 2023, currently before a 3-judge bench comprising Justices Aburili, Chigiti, and Mugambi. The petition seeks legal accountability for former President Uhuru Kenyatta and top officials in his administration over 4.6 trillion in public debt accumulated during his tenure. It also challenges the legitimacy of 2.2 trillion in loans acquired under President William Ruto's government. A Nairobi court has allowed the Independent Policing Oversight Authority IPOA officers to detain police officers Masinde Barasa and Duncan Kiprono, who are linked to the assault and shooting of a hawker Boniface Kariuki for 15 days pending investigations. Kariuki was shot during Tuesday's protest and has since been hospitalized. This after IPOA entered into a mutual agreement with the defense lawyers who represented the officers. The officers appeared before Milimani Principal Magistrate Benmark Ekobi, where police sought to detain them pending investigations into the incident. The shooting happened on June 17 along Moi Avenue during protests triggered by the death of teacher and blogger Albert Ojwang while in police custody. Barasa and Kiprono, both attached to Kileleshwa police station, were deployed to manage the demonstrations. Protesters have been demanding the resignation of Deputy Inspector General Eliud Lagat, who is the main complainant in the case linked to Ojwang's death.
This is 95.0 Iqra News.
Meanwhile, President William Ruto has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to transforming Kenya's economic and governance landscape, urging the executive to remain dedicated to delivering on promises made to the Kenyan people. Speaking during the 3rd National Executive Retreat at the KCB Leadership Center in Kajiado County, the president acknowledged the challenges facing the country, but reiterated that his administration's bold and strategic decisions are beginning to yield tangible results. The 2-day retreat aims to evaluate the government's performance in delivering the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, concentrating on various critical sectors of the economy.
You would have waited for your second term, right? Then you ask yourself, why waste the nation's time waiting for a second term merely because you are working on difficult things? Why don't you finish the difficult things now? If there is a second term, there is plenty of things to be done. And if it can be done in 5 years, why do you want to do it in 10 years? And that is how we haven't made progress as a nation. Because we make decisions not on the basis of how we know that they are right. We make decisions on the basis of how is it convenient for me to remain politically relevant.
On his part, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki added that the radical and strategic policy interventions made by the Kenya Kwanza government are already yielding results, citing advancements in job creation, education reforms, and infrastructure expansion. In another news, a High Court judge has directed that a petition filed by officer commanding Central Police Station, OCS Samson Talam, and his colleague James Mukhwana, seeking to stop their prosecution, be served upon the state within 3 days. On Thursday, Justice Lawrence Mugambi issued directions by stating that the application must be served with the affidavit physically to the respondents. The judge also ordered that the respondents file and serve their responses within 3 days of being served. The court will give further directions on June 30. The two police officers detained over the death of teacher and blogger Albert Ojwang has moved to court, calling their continued detention unlawful. In a petition filed under a certificate of urgency, the two, through lawyer Dunstan Omari, argued that their arrest by the Independent Policing Oversight Authority (IPOA) was premature and procedurally flawed, asserting that an inquest should precede any criminal proceedings.
This is 95.0 Iqra News.
Now, members of parliament have raised concerns over the continued existence of stateless communities in Kenya more than 60 years after independence, as the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics supported fresh petitions seeking the formal recognition of the Pare and Chuka as distinct ethnic groups. The issue came up during a session of the National Assembly's Departmental Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity, chaired by Janet Setienei, where KNBS Director General MacDonald Obudo presented submissions on the two petitions. Petition number 1 of 2025 seeks recognition of the Pare people, while petition number 9 of 2025 calls for the recognition of Chuka. Obudo said proper identification of all ethnic communities is essential for data accuracy and fair national planning. The DG noted that Kenya had in recent years recognized the previously stateless groups such as the Makonde, Pemba, Shona, and Kenyans of Asian descent after they submitted formal petitions to the government.
On to the international news.
At least 72 Palestinians have been killed by Israel fire across Gaza since dawn, including 29 people who are waiting for aid trucks. Palestinian health officials say the latest carnage hitting people desperate to secure food for their hungry families. The latest incidents of the daily killing of Palestinian aid seekers in recent weeks took place on Salah al-Din Street near the Natzarim corridor in central Gaza. Medical sources told a news agency more than 100 others were injured in the attack, they said. In other deadly Israel strikes across Gaza, 8 people were killed and others injured in an air strike on a home in the Zaytun neighborhood south of Gaza City, according to medical sources. Now you're up to date at 11 minutes past the hour. My name is Samira Geloro. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
For more news updates, get us online at www.iqrafm.com or www.iqrafmwebradiosite.com. We have all the latest. Stay tuned right here on Iqra FM 95.0, the station with a difference.
kuno khadima